Today we are going to take a look at Lamzu Atlantis, one of the biggest surprises when it comes to top-tier gaming mice in 2022. We'll take a look at the specs of the mouse, the shape, the build quality, some things that could use an improvement, and summarize everything. Let's start with what's inside of the box. Apart from the mouse and the wireless adapter, you will also find a carrying bag, a set of additional gliders. Unfortunately, those are PTFE, same as on the mouse, which is different from what I saw from a lot of reviewers who got glass skates. It's a bummer, but I guess it's still okay that you get a spare set of PTFE gliders. You also get a USB-C charging cable, a Wi-Fi extender, and a grip tape. Pretty rich package. Most manufacturers just give you a grip tape as an extra. Here you can also get the mentioned bag and a set of skates. Nice touch from Lamzu. Now let's talk about the mouse. When it comes to the sensor, we have the Pixart PAW3395, very good, very mature sensor that allows for great power efficiency and very accurate tracking. In terms of performance, it's great. Over the course of testing, the mouse didn't behave in any weird way. It was very consistent in tracking and very predictable. Lamzu did a really good job in implementing the sensor into their mouse, and let's hope it stays that way over the course of time. The maximum resolution the sensor offers is 26,000 dpi with maximum acceleration of 50G. The polling rate is at 1000 Hz, which can be a bit disappointing as the top tier mice right now offer 4000 or even 8000 Hz. It is worth to note, however, that it would require a special wireless adapter and has a toll on the battery life. The next thing are the switches. Atlantis uses Huano Blue Shell Pink Dot, and I have to say these are one of the best feeling and sounding switches I have ever used. They're sharp but not too stiff. They sound really nice and are easy to spam. Let's do a quick sound test. Overall, the experience of using the switches is very good, both in terms of physical feel as well as sound. They're not too loud, not too high-pitched, and feel great. I like the fact that both the main buttons, the scroll wheel, and the side buttons sound fairly similar. I'm also happy to say that the wireless on Lamzu Atlantis works flawlessly. I had no connectivity issues whatsoever while using the mouse, no stuttering, no lag, and no lost connection, which is great, especially since Lamzu is not an established brand like Logitech or Razer. They really did a great job here. Same goes for the battery life. The mouse is rated at up to 70 hours, so a really good result. Over the course of the last 3 weeks I had to charge the mouse only once. That was after roughly 2-3 hours of gaming session every day, which is more or less what the manufacturer promises. The mouse uses USB-C cable to charge, although the connector is quite deep and narrow, so not every USB-C cable will fit in there. I have no complaints so far when it comes to build quality. There's no creaking, no rattling, no flexing even if you press the mouse quite hard. One thing I'm not too fond of is the coating. It's not overly bad, probably a matter of preference, but I do think that Logitech and Razer do it better. I'm also not sure how the material will behave after a couple of months. Guess we'll have to do a long-term review to find out. One thing I'm not a fan of is the pre-travel of the main mouse buttons. It's quite noticeable, and what's even more irritating is a slight bump on the right mouse button. What do I mean by that? Well, when I press the button lightly, it almost feels like a haptic feedback, something similar to what you get on a MacBook trackpad. Again, it's nothing major, but it's there and you can feel it. Probably a matter of quality control. Both main buttons and the front side button have a bit of post-travel, also something to have in mind. And the final thing, the extender or the Wi-Fi receiver, can't say which one for sure, is a really tight fit. I think it's the dongle as it barely fits into the USB on my case. Another minor quality control issue. I have no complaints about the scroll wheel. It's nice, the actuation is sharp and you can feel the steps quite clearly. Moving on to shape, which probably is the biggest factor. Lamzu Atlantis has an ambidextrous shape with right-handed side button placement. The mouse is rather flat, especially if you compare it to the Superlight. The hump is placed more towards the back and not in the center, and the back is curving down quite aggressively but still provides enough support for your palm. The mouse is 123mm in length, 66 in width and 38 in height at the highest point. The shape is really good for claw grip, and since that's what I've been leaning towards recently, it felt really natural in my hand, almost like I've been using it previously and came back after a short break. Really nice feeling. If you have bigger hands or if you just prefer fingertip grip, it's possible to use the mouse this way, although I think smaller mice are better for that. Overall, for someone who likes claw grip and has medium hands, a very good shape, in my opinion much better than the Superlight, for example. In the software, which you can download from the manufacturer's website, you can change almost everything from button mapping to debounce time, lift-off distance, save predefined DPI settings, record macros, pretty standard set of functions. If you don't want to use the software, you will only be able to change the DPI. The default values are 400, 800, 1600, 3200 and 6400. The first batch of the mice had an included glass skates. At this moment you can purchase separate Sapphire skates. Lamzu states that there's something in between glass and PTFE in terms of gliding speed. However, they also state that they're supposed to be more consistent than the glass skates and offer more control. Pretty curious how they behave and might have to do a review. Let me know down below if that's something you'd be interested in. Time to sum it all up. Like I said before, overall the experience with the mouse is great, especially at this price point. You get a premium sensor, premium switches, a whole lot of additional goodies, but the mouse isn't without some minor flaws. For a debut product from Lamzu, it's a very well designed mouse, able to compete with top tier devices from established manufacturers. If you're claw gripping, that's definitely a mouse that you should try. And that's it for today. Be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe if you enjoyed this one. I'm Laser, and I'll see you soon.